CLG will have to battle now in a best of 3 as they concede the loss versus Natus Vincere. They got so damn close. They were 1 round away, but individual performances from the boys from Natus Vincere managed to pull them forward, and not necessarily the individuals you may assume. C's delivering when it matters with the AWP and without, and Starix suddenly becoming an entry fragger as well for Navi as they do eventually find victory there. Guys, I'm so sorry. Maybe it was the nerves. I don't know what it was.
You just did a sadist.
I pulled a sadist. I produced a toxic gas prior to this segment.
You really do go ham when you're not in an ESL event.
What ham? It was one toot, dude. Come on, be nice. Ham. Actually, we didn't have ham for lunch. I don't know what that was.
I don't know what you had, bro, but
it was the chicken.
You know.
But anyway, CS is still needs to be analysed, and we have an interesting one here. Smix just fired a full-on shot. She said the North American dream is dead. It's not necessarily dead. A best of 3 versus Godsent is full-on winnable for CLG.
Actually, I mean, it's a little bit... Oh, I'm not even plugged in. Go ahead.
Jason's not even plugged in. and they're telling me off. Let's go with someone who has got their mic on.
And we're back.
Hey, go on then, Jason.
And we're back.
Try again.
Just had to plug into the Matrix real quick. It happens. But actually, oddly enough, that loss actually was a really good showing from CLG, not able to close it out, but everything up until then looked good. This is a team that, in the past when they've struggled, we've always noted, I mean, they've had some of the pieces. They have Cutler, this supportive, passive type player who plays really well with good fundamentals. They have the Opper and JDM. They have a guy like Hayes who's willing to go in first and, you know, take the punches, take the first death to set his teammates up. The one thing they were missing was that star rifler, someone who could actually have a massive impact consistently, and Tarek's starting to come into that role. It looks good so far, and just not able to close it, that's okay. They've always had trouble struggling to close against Navi. Eventually, I think this team, you know, I've been critical of them in a lot of different stages, and every time that it looks like they're just defeated and can't go anywhere else, they do find a new level to go to. And Pete has really helped them get to this level where they can start competing against Tier 1 teams.
I do want to emphasize, just for everyone at home, that, like, what, 6-7 months ago, you were a huge CLG doubter.
Yeah.
To the point where actually JDM approached you with the most hilarious thing. Can you please tell everyone?
We were at the MLG Columbus after party, and I walked, we all had a few drinks, walked up to JDM, and I was just like, hey, I mean, it's a bummer you guys lost to Liquid. It was a good tournament. I thought you guys are starting to look good. You're starting to look on the upswing. And JDM goes, thanks, man. I really appreciate that. But my mom tunes into these broadcasts, and she hates you.
I just love that.
Just told me that his mom hates him. So that was a little depressing. I'm sorry. Mrs.
Mama JDM.
Yeah, Mama JDM.
She must love me then, because I predicted him to win loads of games.
Oh, stop. Speaking of predicting people to win loads of games, Anders turns to us in the middle of that match, smuggest look on his face, and says, Moses, when you get out on that desk, I hope you tell everyone that I predicted CLG to win last night, so... I think I've seen that movie before.
So did Henry.
He's actually evil.
Yeah,
he's legitimately evil.
Really
You people don't even know, he's like a Bond villain.
Well,
obviously, Semler's his poorly dressed henchman.
I mean,
Like Shoulders, he's called. That's his nickname, Shoulders, the henchman.
The thing about this game is
French.
I feel that both teams played solid Counter-Strike for most of the time, and in the end, what decided the winner is individual performances. As you can see, no one stepped up that much when you look at the stats only, the scores, but sees that, as you just mentioned, he had a lot of high impact frags, especially with the AWP. He was the one.
I mean, look at that number.
I mean, let's take a look at the
maybe
scores,
he did.
because we know Machine loves to bang on about
maybe
the scores.
he did.
That's the segue. I just gave it to you there.
It's a bit too early then.
I wasn't
Shall
even.
we check on the scores?
Can we do it again a little bit later on?
I wasn't even aware he had 37 kills. I thought he had less. So yeah, obviously he had an amazing game now. But it's not just about the amount of kills. It's about what type of kills they were. Every time it was a 3v3, 4v3, 3v4. He would be the one peaking aggressively with the AWP. Now, that's not always something you want to do. Sometimes maybe it wasn't the best thing to do, but he was aware that maybe they are in the disadvantage, you know, and so on. And he decided, okay, I'm gonna pick up the reins for my team, and made a bunch of those shots and really was the one who made the difference for Navi in this one.
Duncan, same kind of sentiment from you. You thinking that actually it was just a couple of individuals in Navi that stole that from CLG?
Yeah, overall, I mean, I actually thought CLG played pretty well. Like, if you look at the formula there, I think they had all the pieces they needed. Tarek was having a really good game, especially in regulation. JDM was good. Cutler didn't look like he had a lot of frags, but he was having an impact on the game, certainly playing very well. So that's the formula right there. That should be a win. The problem is, I feel really bad for these teams that are losing to Na'Vi, because on paper, it doesn't make sense. Like, if I say one of the best players in the entire world, like a hard carry player, Guardian, isn't in the team, then your brain feels like, well, we should be winning these games. Yeah. But that's just how incredible Na'Vi is as a team right now. They can actually win without one of the best.
We talked about this, their performance at the major was just like, that even makes it more outstanding, is that Guardian had such a tough time, but still they found ways. That's just a testament to the system that they're in, to the amount, like the way that Flamey stepped up, the way that everyone has become more consistently reliable to step up when someone goes missing. That's such a sick team, but it also just breaks your heart even more that Guardian's not here.
I mean, yeah, so we're going to go down that path where we go, imagine if. But they are still doing it.
He is from North America.
They have to use their imagination sometimes.
At that point, that's like the garden path. It's all well worn, like the nice lubricated gate there. First time I'll use that phrase, lubricated gate.
Lubricated gate. All right.
It's actually very technical. It wasn't even sexual.
No, I'm quite impressed. I mean, we have definitely dived enough into the sexual innuendos for today. Innuendo.
Especially that whole going down the garden path. He's been down there a long time, lubricated gate. Right, back to you.
Okay, lubricated gate. You haven't mentioned the score, so I can't do it. But instead...
We just did technically about 7 times, but without mentioning it.
The lubricated gate.
I think that's almost our quota, right?
We're nearly there. We are nearly there.
You
Can we hit a few more times, guys?
For esports, your lubricated gate to all of your scores,
We're all fired
articles.
now, Yanko. We're all fired now, mate. Come on.
I like that. But back on track just for a second, gents. I want to just put a couple of final pins in the CLG side of the story. Because, I mean, yes, we've said it's
that balloon of hope.
It's a huge success for them. But, I mean, no, godsend, right? Like, I can't help but feel CLG are the favourites going into that best of 3.
They are, certainly. And I definitely will favour them. I think they will win that. But... here's the problem. I'm just thinking in terms of Moses and his sanity. Wouldn't that be the ultimate indignity if they then lost the best of 3 to Godsend?
Please don't do that to me.
What if it was all
Sweet
scripted?
Jesus.
What if the Illuminati meant Godsend was going to win?
Okay, well...
It's all like their symbol.
That's a diamond, dude. You've got a triangle. 3 sides, not 4.
It's like that. It's 200. I've seen all the Masonic material, mate. I just wasn't willing to kill a kid.
We've got to go ahead and
got to be so
disappear.
exhausted at this point.
I'm slowly getting to grip of it. Slowly getting my hang. Getting the hang of Duncan
we can tell.
and Shields.
We can tell.
Yeah, just about. But gents, it has been a pleasure as always. We are going to go and take a break before we come back with yet another game of fantastic CS. What's this?
Notes? What do you want to tell the people about before we go to a break?
Okay, you ready for this? The Score eSports application. Grab it right on now. Go to iOS, Google Play Store. Thorin is definitely giving his stamp of approval on this one. It's got news articles. And if you want to go back and check the stats, if you want to see the 37 frags that C's got, you can go ahead and check them out right there and then. These guys have been so lovely to me. It has been a pleasure already, and we've got more of the same coming up next. It is going to be Astralis, a team famed for their success in the group stages, and they are going to be rounding this one out potentially with a win up against Dignitas, a team that have been having a whole lot of trouble with their Danish counterparts, and we'll be finding out how that goes after the break.